1, 2, 3.
Testing. 1, 2. Okay, cool. So that was quite a show. The finale of the Harmontown tour. And I'm sitting here with Adam Goldberg.
Hey there.
The amazing, audience participation.
The ascended fanboy, as I like to think.
That's good.
One of them, one of us. I don't know.
No, that does really work.
It didn't mean to be what it's become, but that could be said about all human interaction.
Right. Yeah.
Like, every week when I think of what I might say or do, it vanishes in a puff of smoke as I'm steamrolled or set up, or my words don't come out right, or they come out too fast, and it's the most reproducible abstraction I can think of for life itself. Like, every week is a prom where my tuxedo's on backwards, and I don't get the girl.
Well, you do win over a lot of the Harmontown listeners. You are a staple of this show.
I don't mean...
Technical problem? Mic test.
Okay, we lost audio for a second, but...
Okay. Sorry. Well, we were wondering...
I didn't mean to shit on myself. I mean,
no.
People do love me, and they're not stupid for loving me, or appreciating me, or even disliking me. But compared to what I would like it to be, it is a shadow of a whisper of an iota.
All right, I could... Okay. So, one episode, you did a Prairie Home Companion segment.
Yeah.
That featured some very good writing on your part.
Thank you.
Have you thought about creating any other new segments for the show?
This is the story that I don't like telling, but, repeats in my head. Harmontown is almost always on a Monday.
Right.
One time it was, I had known Dan for a while. We'd gone up to his house. We'd played a Pictionary and Werewolf, and Aaron's an amazing master of games and ceremonies and getting a party started. But one Friday, I had a really rough week, a lot of work, just tired. I went to my normal Friday night gaming thing up in the valley instead of Harmontown. And that was the night when Dan asked, who here wants to Dungeon Master?
Oh.
And inevitably asked who wanted to spend the next month in inseparable contact with me.
Oh, man.
So, to the extent that Spencer is loved and enshrined in drawings and amazingly appreciated, I have to look at that through the prism of time that says only what if. What if you zigged instead of zagged?
Yeah.
Because I know my hand would have shot up, and I know we'd be worshipping this instead of that, and it's nothing against him as a person. I appreciate Spencer more and more as I spend time with him and as I watch him and see how he kind of puts his hand up against the spotlight. But when I look at everything through being the ugly stepsister instead of Cinderella and watching her walk across the ballroom, that's a tough row to hoe sometimes.
Yeah.
Right before this, you can set this up however you want, but
yeah, Aaron
and Dan were talking for the camera how they were finally going to move in together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you talk for a bit? I want the next sentence, the next bit to be quite good. But I have to wipe my eyes.
No, take your time. We can edit however.
Oh, okay. This one's edited. I'm just
Very much,
confused because
yes.
Harmontown hasn't been edited for 20 episodes. So.
Right. Yeah. No.
Long form jazz. I tend to monologue,
and that is fine.
I know, and I also acknowledge it. and I over-apologize. Go to the next thing on your list.
We can just move on.
Around.
Well, a lighter question then, I guess.
Please. Yeah.
So what do you believe if Harmontown was a town? What would be your title in City Hall?
I don't know. They have me in the stockades one week, and then we're like, we're just kidding, and then they put me in the stockades again. Probably Jew or something.
Oh, okay.
In a village in 1466, where it's like, you sure did well for our economy. Now, quit poisoning the well. We have a trader here who'd like to talk to you. What do you do to the well and our daughters? And I'd get in like 8 words, and they'd be well-crafted words, but they'd be in Hebrew, so what's the point? I really wanted to go double Jew with Marin.
Oh, that would have been
awesome.
Great.
I did work on one of his shows last week in Transpo, but I didn't get to meet him because we were picking up the trucks, and talent leaves much earlier than the trucks get taken out.
Right.
Because why sit around to watch grips put away light stands? It's not a good use of their time.
Well, so your brothers were on one of the podcasts.
Yeah, my brothers were in Somerville.
What do you think about that?
I love my brothers. I do. They're good guys, and they're my family. But there's a difference between being able to hang in for 6 minutes and tell a rehearsed anecdote about, to tell dad jokes about a sibling, and then there's hanging and banging with the big dogs from the end of the universe, which is what I try and do every week.
Right.
If we put a lot of the people that are so wonderful up to a longer timeline, like tonight I was handed a note by friends of Big Red, which they told me not to read, but they should have asked me that before they gave me the note, because once you hand me the note, you are not in position to negotiate. So it was a note that's like, hey, it was just as scattered as I might have said it if I were improvising it. Nice. I was like, hey, I've been knighted with the Queen of England. Just kidding, I'm on a secret special mission from Yoshi. Just kidding, but Jeff, you're my buddy. PPS, Adam Goldberg, I fucked your mother. It's like, nice try, Big Red. You're on minute 15.003 of fame. You're Andy Warhol, and in front of every one of your Pontilus paintings of you, instead of the color changing, it's my dick moving closer to your mouth. Like Christ says, sit at the table of my lap and eat of it. Fucking Appalachian motherfucker. But yeah, my brothers are great guys.
Thank you.
See, that's the kind of person I am. On stage, you might have gone like, it's like downloading something from Kazaa in 2001. It's like, well, if you titty Jake Frasier. All the porn gets mixed with Frasier, so it's just like Jenna Jameson getting triple railed with sausage and scrambled eggs.
So how do you feel about Dan's unofficial Asperger's diagnosis?
Look, I was tested a lot as a child since I had a hearing difficulty in one ear, still do, and attention deficit disorder back when that was like a medical diagnosis instead of children. They don't fit into a school that's designed to test them for fitting into school. Let's throw drugs at their asses. But I am not autistic. And if I would have known that a long time ago.
Yeah, it sounds like a doctor would have said something.
They would have, out of courtesy at least.
Right.
Like, your urine sample's great. Watch out for the spinal deformity. You have autism. And here's a lollipop.
Yeah, just watch out for that.
Trains. The most largest train ever built was by John Vanderbilt. It was designed... There's a secret train built underneath Congress for congressmen.
So
No, I'm just awkward, and I care more about dungeon crafting theory than ever, than most people should or could. Which transitions into something. It's like, if you listen to the show or read the web forums or find out anything, the reason people are drawn to Dungeons and Dragons is not because it's a fun break from racing Maseratis.
right.
It's because there's something in you that wants to be a half-orc and smash things.
Right.
And to have numbers that say you can conquer other creatures and you don't have to worry about your stepdad or whatever.
Right.
So I'm working on an initiative with some public libraries in the LA area to create D&D safe spaces where people can, learn to socially interact with other people and play in something that's not, you sure are bad at sports coding. I bet your stepdad Eric doesn't like that
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And if you look at who's comes out to Harmontown and who's willing to sit for 35 minutes of Dungeons and Dragons themed improv,
Right, yeah.
there are a lot of the same people who have the same basic need of, I want to be smart, but I want to make friends. I want to be powerful, but I can't let go of being frail.
Well,
Not everyone can get a weight set for Christmas and
Right, yeah.
swole the fuck up. And even if they did, a lot of the fit people in the world
that doesn't change a whole lot.
Yeah, just because you're in shape doesn't mean you can have a healthy relationship.
Right, yeah.
People are so multivariable. But having a safe space to find out who you are when you're 12 or 13 or 14 is
That could make a
crucial.
huge difference.
We need
in
to
a
know
lot
what
of
can
lives.
happen to the Jim Nightblades of the world before they decide the only thing for them is vodka and web blogging.
Right.
Not that those aren't great.
So I've listened to most of the Harmontown podcast. The
Thank you.
the tour kind of overwhelmed me. I haven't
there was
listened to
a
all
lot
of it.
of content. 40 hours of content.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could level up a lot of orcs in that time.
but I don't think it
Get
has
an epic
been.
mount.
I don't know if it's actually been broached. What do you do for a living outside of?
I'm a transpo driver.
Oh, okay.
I'm a trucker, oddly enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just for
We drive vehicles to set. Turns out I live across the street from a vehicle lot, and the owner
okay.
and I get along well. We have a love of terrible jokes,
nice.
terrible bar jokes and puns and all that crap, and got me a gig, and we're doing that now. Although I'm probably going to transition to more writerly pursuits.
Oh, excellent.
I'm also a children's playwright. Didn't see that one coming. That's the twist. But I just had another play of mine published, and the first one I wrote is being performed in Canada for a spell.
Oh, nice.
So that's nice.
Well, on the off chance that there are listeners up there, where...
Youthplays.com. You can check out some of my plays under my name, Adam Goldberg.
Oh, that'd be... I am going to look those up. That sounds awesome.
Sounds good, brother.
So, if Harmontown was an actual city, how do you... this is the last one that we have.
Okay. No, I think I used to have that phone. Does it slide out?
No,
No,
this
the
one...
HTC mobile shift. They don't make that anymore. People don't like designated keyboards because they're imbeciles.
They are. This is taking me forever to get used to. I like the buttons.
Yeah, I want to upgrade to iOS like 8. If everyone's doing something, do it.
Yeah.
It's the technology slogan. And heroin slogan. The big party drug, heroin.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, I got 6 extra needles. You want some? Come on, man. Just try a little bit of heroin. I'm a heroin dealer.
Well, that sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
If
tonight...
Harmontown was a town, where was it? What is it?
If Harmontown was a town, how would you best serve Harmontown if it was like a place? What would be your...
What role do I think I play in society? Is a larger question than I'd like to be able to answer definitively.
Okay.
I'd like to have enough question marks around myself to not be like, butcher, baker, yeah, people need candles. God, that's me. That's my next 40 years.
What if it's more of a dream situation?
Oh, yeah, like if you could do anything.
Oh, then I'd read Word Up magazine. Biggie, what do you think of Inception? It was all a dream. I used to eat bowls of whipped cream. I'd like to tell all your listeners out in podcast land that Tupac is alive. I know who tried to murder him. They did not, and I will never tell. Did you guys see the ad for the Tupac, the truth behind Biggie and Tupac VHS they made once? And the only teaser clip they could show was like just some woman saying, if the interviewer says, if you knew who killed Biggie and Tupac, would you tell anyone? And the woman says, I absolutely would not. It's like, oh shit, someone's hiding that from me. She knows the truth of Vegas. Suge Knight better watch his mouth. But if you're listening out there, I do respect you. And you don't have to dangle me from any more rooftops. I learned my lesson. Hello, Cool J, I respect you. Didn't mean what I said at the Battle of Seattle. Benefit and Monsteroid, they were just talking trash. A lot of good puns, but just, we love you, LL. LL Cool Ranch. Ladies love Cool Ranch.
We did have one last thing. Doritos. One final question we had for you. So tonight on stage, you said you were retiring this character. Do you want to expound on that, or
it's? When will this air before next week?
A week from today is when this goes out.
Well, you'll just have to listen to Harmontown and find out.
All right.
Sure.
Sounds great. Did you have anything else you wanted to say to the podcast world?
If you're listening to podcasts and you finish cleaning up your kitchen and making dinner, I mean, you can read a book, but that won't really help. What do you do? No, it's a question. I shouldn't be asking someone of a non-reflexive medium. God, follow me on Twitter. 400 it seems like a lot of followers, but they're mostly robots. The rest of them are like Jewish or related to me, or like Jewish robots. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. But my friend Blake is like 1,500, and I'm not jealous. But he's not like 2.5 times funnier than I am. So get on it. At Adam Ultraberg. At Adam Ultraberg. Should I have made it at Dumb Ultraberg? I considered that, but I didn't. Cut this for time. Cut this for time. I'm circling my finger. Cut this for time. Right. Slicing my throat.
Adam Goldberg, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies love Cool Ranch. You're a brilliant fucking weirdo.